Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
All you homeowners have unique needs. Some feel the need to paint their door a vibrant shade of blue. Others have the need to decorate their bathroom with fish, anchors, and other nautical items. And because each homeowner has unique needs, Geico helps you get the right coverage for your home and what's in it. That way, you get exactly what's right for you, even if your needs are unique. Get more with Geico.
My name's Adelle Onyango, and welcome to another episode of Legally Clueless. No, seriously, I have no clue what I'm doing, but I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. Hey you, welcome to episode 316 of Legally Clueless. Thank you so much for rocking with this podcast. If this is your first time, welcome to the family. Audio episodes like this go out every single Monday. We have another show that goes out on Wednesday, another on Friday, so make sure you officially join the family. Subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to this podcast on. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel because there's a lot of action there. In fact, this is for everybody, newbies and OG members. We have a brand new show that is going to be premiering on our YouTube channel very soon, especially for the women who consider themselves absolutely shameless and mannerless. You're going to enjoy this show. I had so much fun together with the team working on it. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube so you do not miss out on the brand new show from us here at Legally Clueless. Yeah. I'm really excited about it. Subscribe to our YouTube. Okay, another thing you need to do is officially join our family so that you can receive weekly letters from me. I have not missed a week this year. Can you please insert applause here? And you can sign up by going to our website. That's legallycluelessafrica.com. OG members, I've got nothing but love and appreciation for you. What's coming up in this episode? Take a listen to this.
My first therapy session, I remember telling Joy, my name is Wangare, but you've probably seen me as Auntie Jamaima. I'm a comedian. I make people happy and I'm not happy. And I broke down that first session. I didn't do anything. I just cried. So I remember Valentine's of 2021, I conceived. We are sexually active. We use protection, but sometimes things happen. But I kept asking myself, all my friends have babies. At some point, I was feeling like, I'm not fertile. I had those questions. And the first thing they do is they check the heartbeat. And it's very loud. Usually, you can hear it from as far as the next room. I noticed there was struggle. They could not, once they identify where the baby is, they're able to get the heartbeat. They could not find the heartbeat.
So before we get into Auntie Jamaima's story, I just want to give you a heads up that we are officially at our last call for our wellness talk. In case you don't know, let me just take it all the way from the beginning because you probably can relate for this. That this could be the year that you start taking your physical health seriously, and you've got to honestly ask yourself, what is stopping you? The current routine that you have that doesn't have fitness and that doesn't have you being more intentional about what you eat, you learned that routine, which means you can learn a new one. And sometimes on a personal level, when I think about my fitness routine and I think about what I eat, I think about two things, right? I think about how I show myself that I love me. And I also think about how important it is for me to keep the promises I make to myself. So if I love myself, then I need to show that love through fitness because movement is medicine. I need to show that love through what I eat. And I need to keep the promises that I tell myself. So if I say to myself that tomorrow I'm going to walk, tomorrow I'm going to do my yoga sessions, tomorrow I'm going to start lifting weights, etc. I love myself, then surely I should keep those promises, right? And if you can relate with this, then maybe step one is to attend our upcoming wellness talk, because it's all about fitness, nutrition, and women's health. It's something I am so passionate about. I hope you can hear it through my voice, because you can't leave any part of wellness behind. You can't separate your physical body from your mind. So we've been taking care of our mental wellness, but we haven't done the same for our physical, right? And let's try. Let's just show ourselves that we love ourselves by getting our fitness and nutrition right. So tickets to our wellness talk are only 1,000 bob, and it's virtual. Our ticket portal closes this Thursday, so you have until Thursday to grab your tickets. Who's our speaker? Mitchelle Adagala. If you don't know, Mitchelle has been on the podcast a few episodes ago, and she is a certified fitness and nutrition coach. And some of the topics she's going to be taking us through is, what is nutrition's role in fitness? She's going to help us manage stress and our metabolism. She's going to unpack science-backed and women-focused insights. She's also going to talk about this thing that we hear about a lot, but we wonder, what is it really and how does it affect our fitness? PCOS. Mitchelle is also going to break down hunger and cravings and a lot of the hormones that affect our nutrition and our fitness. We are focused on making sure our women's health, as far as this family is concerned, is top notch. So again, the talk is virtual. So wherever you are in this world, you can dial in. It's on the 29th of March, 10 a.m. East Africa time. And there's a link in the show notes for you to grab your tickets. Again, the ticket portal closes on Thursday. Let's jump into 100 African stories. And in this episode, we listen to part one of top Kenyan comedian Auntie Jamaima's story on becoming a national icon and an angel mom. 100 African stories on Legally Clueless. Stories from Africa.
My name is Wagori, popularly known as Auntie Jamaima. I am a comedian. I am a mother to two beautiful girls. One is living, one is an angel. And I am a big advocate for maternal health and mental maternal health. This is because I went through a phase in my life which I never anticipated, I never imagined, and I never saw it coming. So let me take you back to my childhood. I was born in Pumwani Hospital. I'm the firstborn in a family of 3. I have a brother after me and a sister after me. So it was the normal growing up. Nothing out of the ordinary, apart from when I went to high school. You know, growing up as a firstborn back then, our parents were very strict. So especially for firstborns, because firstborns are like tester kids. Parents want to know how far they can go or how far they cannot go. So they unleashed almost everything on us and almost held back a lot also on us. I feel like if we were given, if probably I was given a little bit more, how can I phrase it? Because I struggled a lot with expressing myself growing up, but I've noticed it's not only me, it's a thing with millennials. We were not allowed to freely talk and express ourselves. So somewhere along the way, when I went to high school, I found myself in my search for freedom and you know, I found myself in addiction, in drug addiction, and fortunately or unfortunately, I had to go for rehab. I did 3 months rehab in Kiambu, and then so I did my program, did my 12 steps to recovery, and then after that now I went to another high school. I've gone to 4 high schools, by the way. I went to Kijabe Girls High School Form 1 and 2, then Form 3, 2 terms I went to St. Martin's Girls Secondary School in Kangemi, and then I was expelled. I went to Steph Joy Girls Secondary School for 3 days. I was still in active addiction, so I just told them I don't feel like this school vibe is not for me. The last school was St. Martin's, 2 terms. So that's where they discovered I was using. That's where I was expelled. So when I was expelled from St. Martin's and I went to Steph Joy for 3 days is when I realized. So after St. Martin's, there was a period of not using. Because I was taken to hospital, I was given the detox, and then I went home. But now, upon going to Steph Joy, I realized I had more drugs in my blouse. And because, you know, for addiction, you have to be willing. Willingness has to be there for you to stop. Nobody has to stop you. It has to come from you. The willpower must come from you. So when I found extra drugs in my blouse, I used kwanza now to lipisha the days I had not used. So I went to told the principal, you know what, I can't do this. This school thingy is not for me. So that my mom was called late in the evening. She came, she cried. I was like, yo, mom, I really want to, but I can't. Nimeshindwa kuconcentrate. So I went home. So now when I was home is when now they started. So the principal to Steph Joy is the one who told my dad, because my dad was alikuwa anatuchapa sana. So Mrs. Mugambi could see, huyu ataenda kuchapwa vibaya. So Mrs. Mugambi is the one who told dad she needs counseling rather than beatings. So now dad started hooking me up now with counselors. I went into different counselors, rehabs. We went to 3 rehabs. Then I finally settled on the one in Kiambu. The reason I did that was because in all the other 3 rehabs, counselors came, talked to me about drugs, how bad they are, how they'll stop your life. But for the Kiambu one, I found the addicts seated in a semicircle, the NA, Narcotics Anonymous or Alcoholics Anonymous way. And I was told to just sit with them. And they started telling me their stories. Like, yo, my name is so-and-so. I am a recovering addict. I'm a recovering alcoholic. And my story goes back to way back. This is what I've done. This is where alcohol has taken me. This is where addiction has taken me. This is what I've done. And so far, so good. I related to 2 young men who are my age mates because them, they had done their programs there. And then they were coming now. They'd go to school and use rehab as a halfway home. Their parents have said, kidogo wakae huko until we feel like we're ready to now reintegrate them into the family. So those are the ones who really made me feel at home, knowing that someone else is going through what you're going through and you're almost the same age, now pulled me more into that rehab. And so I was admitted in September 20th, 2006. I went through detox. I went through therapy. I went through individual and group therapy. We had lots and lots of classes. And then now I was ready to be reintegrated back into the society. So now remember, I'm still in Form 3. So after high school, Christmas holidays, because 3 months were ending in December. And then January I was taken out to my 4th high school in Kirinyaga County. Nikakuta watu wanaongea Kikuyu ingine ni kama hawataki kuongea. Kirinyaga people have a very funny language. So it was fun. It was hilarious, but I enjoyed. It was a nice place. So that's why I did my Form 4. I was top candidate the year 2008. Now I had to redo Form 3. And let me tell you, upon redoing Form 3, I was top student from Form 3 all the way to KCSE. The one who topped that year. So now I've cleared Form 4. I want to go straight into theater because all the people who used to come do set books for us, I used to admire them. I used to ask them questions. I'd tell them, so if someone wants to come and join you, where are they finding you? And then, so most of them would come from Thika because it was closer to Kirinyaga. So we didn't get a lot of Nairobi groups, Akina Jichofo. I really wanted to meet them. So them, they do Nairobi and these other sides. So Thika, unfortunately, was far. So when I cleared, I told dad to just, after after high school, you millennials, we did computer and driving. It was like a cult in every homestead after Form 4, computer classes. And you're just going to study Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and anyway, story for another day. So after those, I told dad as we wait for the results, because the results now are being released in Feb, from November to Feb. So I told dad to allow me go to the theater, see if I'll be able to get any auditions, and then maybe earn some few coins as I wait for the results. And I was lucky to find a group, a traveling theater group. I went, I aced at the auditions. Remember, this is something I love. So I effortlessly did the auditions. And we started rehearsing set books for which year now? 2009.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on chumbacasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at chumbacasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's chumbacasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Owning a boat comes with a number of perks, like being able to fling your favorite fishing rod around. And here's another perk. Geico's boat insurance covers your boat and your belongings. And with specialist support from agents that are as passionate about boating as you are, there's so much value that you'll want to high-five someone. But not while you're holding your fishing rod. That's a prized possession. So hold on tight with both hands and keep it covered through boat insurance. Get more with Geico.
Yeah, 2009. And we'd rehearse at Arboretum, Nairobi Arboretum. We rehearsed for about 2-3 months. And then now we started doing the traveling to the different schools. Unfortunately, the producer was not paying. And then, see, now the fear we have as millennials of not demanding what is rightfully ours, we would not ask. We would just ask each other, hey, have you been paid? And you're like, no, me, I've not been paid. See, we ask for our money. And we're like, yeah, let's ask for our money. And nobody would ask. So now fast forward, we had now to travel to Western Kenya to go perform. So I have to tell Dad I'm going to Western for the set books performance, and I need you to top me up with a few kidogo money for the pocket money. And then he's like, but you've been working for the last 3-4 months. Where is your money? So I told him I have not been paid. And he was like, then that is not work you're doing. Go study accounts. So that is how my theater career was cut short, and I had to go now study accounts for my dad. Because it's not something I wanted, but he was just there saying how, as an accountant, you'll never lack money, you'll never lack jobs. He used to say that women accountants don't steal money. I don't know where they get that. So that is how now I started doing CPA. I went to Pinnacle Business School. Now, remember, this is not something I like. So I'm not interested. Even when I'm in class, concentration is zero because my heart is in theater and radio. So we did section 1, CPA section 1. I remember, I think I passed in one section, 1 unit, and I failed 2. So when you fail, you have to repeat until you pass for you to go to the next section. However, you can combine the 2 sections and do them together because section 1 and 2 are considered part 1. Then 3 and 4 part 2. So you can do parts all together. So I paid for the receipts, and now for section 2. Tried again. Now I passed section 1. Section 2, I passed 2 units and failed 1, and also disappointed. So along the way, when I was going now for the classes, I'd go look into different colleges in town that were offering journalism, and I found ZTech. That time it was offering journalism, and the school fees was almost the same as what I was paying for CPA. Actually, it was less with a few thousands. I was like, okay, will they know? No, they won't know. So every time they'd give me school fees for CPA, I went and enrolled for a journalism class, and I was doing radio production. If you'd not find me in the theory class, you'd find me in the radio studio for ZTech. I even had my own show. I'd started Huko. It was called, I can't remember that name. And I was so good at it that the then lecturer would use my voice notes, my voiceovers, to train even the higher classes. He'd even call me to the radio studio to tell me, please record this audio for them to hear how you record the audios. I felt so much at home studying radio. Now, fast forward to the exams, because I enrolled for a diploma. So 2 years now you do the diploma. I hadn't checked the examining body for journalism. It's ICM. It's an international examining body. And the exam is quite pricey as compared to CPA, which is locally tested by CASNEB. So the fee was quite high. I could not afford. And again, I am not able to express myself to my parents and tell them, for the last 1 year, I have been studying journalism and not CPA behind your back. The only thing I need is you guys to top up my exam fee, and we'll be good to go. So what do? I drop out and I go back to CPA. But remember, I have used all my school fees in radio. So I have to now go to the library and study for myself so that I can be able to catch the next exam at CPA. And that's what I did. I had to cram CPA section 3 and 4. I had to cram for me to pass. And I passed. Nobody's aware. No one knows that. Of course, now my classmates from CPA would ask me, where did you go? However, they'd still chocha me. They'd still tell me, you're so funny. Why are you in accounts? And I'd tell them, I know, but I don't know what to do. So when I told them I'd gone to that, they were like, that's where you belong. That's where you belong. But at home, nobody knows. Nobody would dare know that. And even my folks, I told them way later. So now, so I've now done section 3 and 4 passed. So I'm like, I can't do 4 and 5. Let me find a job now. So now my dad so he gets my results, starts sharing them with his friends to see anyone who has an opening or anyone who knows someone who wants a job. And I also tell now my friends, now the CPA friends who had now, the ones we were in class with now, remember they are way ahead. So some of them had gotten jobs. So I tell them, if you get a job, please let me know. So I tarmacked where I tarmacked. And then I remember this one time, My friend called Catherine calls me and tells me there's an opening at our place. We are looking for an accounts assistant, but you're required to have an accounting package, QuickBooks. I'm like, yo, I just finished that last week. How did you know? Our stars were aligning. She was like, oh, nice. So you send me your documents and then you'll probably get a call from our auditor. I was like, sawa. So I sent. Immediately I sent, and then the guy calls me, asks me whether I am available for an interview in 2 hours. Because of my desperation, I think about it today. I'm like, I should have told him I'm not available. I'll come tomorrow. But because of my desperation and being a millennial, the way we are like, I don't know how. Anyway, it's good that we are reparenting ourselves, because calling me for an interview and telling me to avail myself in 2 hours, it's quite not right. You need to also give me time to prepare, But I had to shower very fast. I got into Anduthi up to the stage, because from our place to the main stage is like a distance, and then I got there in about less than 2 hours. I think it was about 45 minutes from Keno to town. So we are here after 45 minutes. I get into the office, they look at my papers and they're like, yeah, you're hired. They didn't even do an interview. They just looked at my papers. And they're like, yeah, you're hired. Can you start tomorrow again? You need time to show up, prepare for work. But the desperate me, the millennial me, will say, yes, please, I'll be here very early in the morning. We used to work 7:30 to 7:30. 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m., Monday to Saturday. So Saturdays now is where we'd exchange. So I work on this Saturday and then someone else works on this Saturday. So we only had social time on Sundays, and Sunday you're tired. You need to clean up. You need to wash your clothes. So you don't even have any social time. Can we complain? No. Why? We are millennials. We are used to struggle. We've normalized struggle for so long. We've normalized not speaking about our rights for so long, so long. And we believe that that struggling has a reward. That is the notion that millennials and Generation X have. That struggle you're going through, one day you'll get now a better job. But no, actually no. You should just speak up and say, yo, I can't work. How many hours are those? 12 hours. I can't. It's humanly impossible. I'm only productive. Even now when I'm scripting, I'm only able to concentrate for about 4-5 hours. After that, you've lost me. I can't do much. And COVID has taught us so much that people can be productive at home. People can work half day and still be productive. And Gen Zs have taught us that. I'm so proud of them. So I've started working now in the office. I am making everyone laugh in the accounts office. So now you remember that the in CPA when people would tell me you make us happy, we think you're in the wrong career. Now it comes back again in the accounting office. Hey, you keep making us happy. Are you sure you don't belong to the media? I tell them I know. That is where I belong. But time hasn't figured. Once the time comes, I'll definitely find my way there. So because of the working conditions, and this guy does not even pay us in good time. Sometimes, so I was being paid 15,000 Kenya shillings. And sometimes he'd come give you 7 Gs. Other times come top up with 2K. And then when he sees that you guys are a bit sad or mad, then he'd pay the full amount. So now, because of the working conditions, I keep applying for jobs online. So you give us bad working conditions, we use your internet to look for jobs. So I keep applying for jobs. So I get an interview invitation for a company in Westlands. Oh, Westland's nice. So I went for the interview. They had said PA. By the way, I was applying for any job. I just needed to get out of that office. So they were saying PA, but when I went for the interview with the papers, they actually wanted an accountant. So they had just had no time to redo. I think once they shared it on Brighter Monday, they didn't have time to edit. So they were like, oh, we actually wanted someone to do our accounts and basic admin job, bookkeeping and all that. And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. So it was a Mwindi. So can you start on Monday? Oh, yes, please. I can start on Monday. That was on a Friday. So will I resign? I will not resign. I'm going to teach them a lesson. I did not resign. So I just told my bestie, Catherine, thank you so much for hooking me up with this job. Unfortunately, it is humanly impossible for me to survive here. I can't. For the love of work and money, I can't. But I've got another place. She was like, yeah, please go. Ata sisi, even us, when we get a chance, we'll follow you. So that is when I started now working in Westlands. Now, Nairobi, I was working 7:30 to 7:30. Westlands, 9 to 5. 9 to 5. And Westlands is closer to home. So me, I was happy, but now I had a lot of time on my hands because it's a small company. I had about how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 employees. So even bank reconciliations, I used to do them within 1 hour, I'm done, maximum. Filing returns, same, 20, 40 minutes, I am done. So workload for 1 month, I'd finish it in probably 1 day. So the rest of the time, what do? Now this is 2016. Digital has started opening up. And Jugush is doing so many videos on social media. I can see people combining efforts, doing small videos, posting them on socials. Oh, okay. I said, let me also try that. So I'd fika very early in the morning, arrive very early in the morning, record with my phone. And then the first video I recorded, I posted on social media. It was about the way Kikuyu men ask for sex. Like they are asking for bananas by the roadside. So I did that video, but because it was my first time, the sound was not very clear. I was holding back. But that video trended. It was kind of controversial, but it was also interesting to look at this. Okay, this beautiful chick, how is she getting the confidence to tell us that? So it got its fair share of good sharing and good comments, a lot of women confirming, but it also got, I remember Mpasho shared it, and bloggers, the way they do, they cut out that part where you're ranting, and they find a photo where you looked malnourished, and they share that smack there, right in the middle. And then they say that I've never forgotten. They said, angry Kikuyu woman teaching men how to ask for sex. I was insulted. Man, the insults came. Oh, how does she look? Oh, that she's too black. Oh,
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to chumbacasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Also, guy, I closed down social media for about 3 months. I didn't get back to it. So fast forward, I kept receiving almost the same comments, and mostly it was about my skin. So that time I'm feeling like, at first I was like, okay, it's 1 or 2. But then when a few more people keep saying that to you, you start now thinking, okay, I probably am not beautiful. Probably I look the way they are saying, and I should not even be doing what I'm doing. I need to stop producing these videos. And I kept asking myself, my God, I'm only doing this for fun. I'm doing it to make people happy because I'm a comedian. And this is the feedback I get. And then our minds are wired in the way that, because I could get very good comments from people, but I would only concentrate on the bad ones, because that is how sometimes the human brain works, until you probably find that balance. And then I remember at some point, okay, I'll take you back. At some point, I went back on social media to check now Akina Njugush, the others who are doing videos, Jemoyule Mse, there was Desagu also. So I went to their comments to see, do they also get now the bad comments that I'm getting? And yeah, they'd get the very good ones, and then there's one bad one. Very good ones, and then there's just one bad one. So I was like, oh, so the key is to ignore. Yeah, that is what they do. You just ignore. They'll come. People will always say, people will always talk, but just ignore them. So now that the first video I did in April, believe it or not, the second video I did it in September. And now I have my friends. There's this one bestie of mine called Olivia. We were in the same office. She kept telling me, you need to do this. You need to do it. I'm like, I will try. Every time I wanted to try again, I'd remember they'll tell me I look like I'm saying I should not. Why are you? Oh, so I did the second video now in September after I attended a wedding, and I observed the way, you see the auntie of cake, the one who cuts cake. And the way she comes with her sombrero hat and fishnet stockings, khakis, Harrier keys. So I said, I'm going to do a video about her. So this one will not be controversial. It will be funny. So I did that one and I released it. And I remember, so the first video was shared by there was a blogger who used to be very famous in Central. So he's the one who shared. So when I did this one, I also sent it to him. Told him, the other one you shared, but I was given some insults. This one is a better one. Please share for me. And he shared. He said, Wangari again is back with another video. This one is the one now that opened up my doors. This one went. This one trended. Yani, that evening, I think after 1 hour, I maxed my friend requests. And guys were like, open a YouTube channel. I was feeling like a celebrity in 1 hour. Got so many media interviews from the vernacular radio stations. And then I remember that's when I also met Jeff Courier from Royal Media Inoro FM. And he's the one who told me that he can see emceeing potential in me. I was like, yo, me? Oh, come on, guys. I just started. You give me some time. I was like, no, you can. So he took me with him to weddings to see how it is done, how emceeing a wedding goes. And I went and I learned two, three weddings I learned. And then I remember posting on my page that if you're looking for a female MC for your social events, this is the number to call. I got my first wedding and they wrote me a check. I charged them 30,000. Oh my God, it was a lot of money back then. And they paid up front. I stayed with that check. I said, I'll not bank it until I MC the wedding. And that's what happened. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the best because I know my best. It wasn't the best, but it was something. I was starting and I thank God they gave me that chance. Second wedding was from a couple from the States. It was all flashy because I remember they told us after church, there'll be cocktail and then food. And then now the bride will have come. But now the church ended at about 1. So now telling Kenyans to first take cocktail, then food, and they've already seen the food is a task on its own. Guy, it was a lot. They refused. Because I was telling them, first take the cocktail, please, then come back to the hall, and then I'll tell you to go for the food. That one, you're telling yourself. They queued for the food. Bride was mad. She was sent photos. Gosh, she was mad. I've never emceed an event feeling so tensed like I did on that day. And then there was an uncle of theirs who really extended his speech. You know those ones who say, oh, we are the ones who took her to the guy. Where? And they kept telling me, Mwambie, tell him to finish. So, and every time I'd approach him, he's like, no, MC, you have to wait for me. These ones, I could read disappointment on their faces. I remember she wrote me a very tough message on Instagram the following week, telling me how she can never refer me to anyone because the wedding did not go as she imagined or as she would have wanted, especially with the order of the things, the way they wanted the things to run. And she said, I wasn't able to control the crowd. Now, you remember, September when I did the video and it went viral, Radio Africa was opening the first vernacular radio station, Gokena FM. And they are looking for fresh blood, fresh talent. And my name was fronted for some reason. And I get a call then and I go for the voice test. And so they wanted me to do breakfast, comedian on breakfast. However, we didn't have chemistry with the host. So I told them I can't. So this time now I'm starting to be very expressive. And if you get it wrong from the beginning, you might end up regretting. So you have to get it right from the word go. So I told the head of radio then I can't host with him. So what else or who else can we try? And it's like we only wanted a comedian for breakfast or drive. And we already have someone for drive. So what we will do, we'll give you a segment. Man, I felt like he was wasting me because I was feeling like I have so much content for radio. But 2 minutes was kind of limiting. I did not know 2 minutes on radio is quite long. Getting fresh content for 2 minutes every day, Monday to Friday, is a lot of work. Said, sawa, let's try it. So I did 3 months probation, and then on the 4th month, I got the contract. I was being paid 1,000 per segment, so 20K. Okay, that was in November, and then now remember I am fully booked for December for weddings, so I resigned. So the motivation behind quitting a well-paying job, or what was paying me double what I'm getting at Radio Africa, was because the heart wants what it wants. My heart, I kept telling people, if I ever get a job on radio that is paying me half what I earn as an accountant, I'll go. I'll not think twice about it. I will go because that is where I know my heart will be content. I'll be happy. It will not be a job for me. It will be a passion. It will be me actualizing what I've always wanted to do. So that's why I left. So now, fast forward, I've resigned. I've not told Dad. Again, I am afraid. I have this fear. I don't want to tell him I have quit that accounts that I was doing for him to now do media. All right. So January, unfortunately, I quit because I was fully paid in December, booked. January, people don't do weddings. In fact, people divorce in January because of so many deaths and all that. So gigs don't happen in Jan, but I have my savings. So Feb, I get now the paycheck from the agency good money. So I bought a laptop, I bought a fridge, I got myself a website, and a few other things, and a few clothes to just pay myself. And then now, continued now looking for more gigs. So the radio segment was doing very well. I remember there was a huge company of tea leaves that came and sponsored my segment. And they wanted to also work with me on social media. So they paid for the segment on radio and now gave me another good paying check on social media. So now I have the confidence to tell Dad, I resigned from accounts and this is what I'm doing. And I remember he asked me, uliacha kazi uko unafanya huto tu video? And I was like, yeah. I got the confidence to tell him yes. And so now we started pushing now more. Getting more endorsements, getting more gigs. Fast forward to now I've done this segment for 3 years. I'm getting very good endorsements out here. I'm getting good emceeing gigs. And then COVID happened. Now 3 years later, now this is 2020. COVID happens. People are being laid off. We are working from home. And then I have stagnated on the segment because 3 years is a long time to be doing the same thing. So 2020, I tell the PC, I can't grow anymore. I'm not feeling growth. And he's like, yeah, I'll try talk to HR and the group PC. But honestly, you can see there's no money. COVID has hit. I was like, it's okay. I totally understand. In any case, I'm making more money on the digital platforms. I monetized a long time ago on YouTube and I'm getting good endorsements. He told me now, unfortunately, there's no chance. So, but I'll keep you. In case of anything, you'll be the first person I'll call. I'm like, sawa. 1 week later, I get a call from him saying, we need people to be entertained now that there is COVID. So we would like to bring you on Drive as a comedian. Nice. Who am I doing the Drive show with? You see, now when I was recording the segment, I had made a friend on radio who was hosting the Drive show. He's the one who used to record me. And every time I'd go blank, he'd tell me, Wambie, we tell them this. So we had become very close friends, unknowingly that it would lead us to do a show together. The chemistry was amazing. And I got now in on a higher salary kidogo, but now as a freelancer. So I'm not employed. I'm not enjoying the benefits of employment. I actually invoice the company at the end of every month to get my check. So I did that until 2021. So now as I'm doing that, now it's like now I'm full-time there because I go on Drive from 3 to 7. So along the way, now I'm in a relationship. There's this guy who's giving me sleepless nights. Now you remember that chick called Catherine, the one who hooked me up with the first jobo. Catherine also hooked me up with the longest guy I dated because she also left that company, by the way, and went to an NGO. And that's where they met. So I'd gone to visit Catherine and this guy had come to also visit him there. And it was fly. I was like, hey, okay, we have nice guys here in Nairobi. And Catherine was in the shower, so we just had a chit chat over there. And I went home and before I left, I told Kate, if he asks for my number, please give him. Don't keep for me this guy. Us girls, we have that thing of, hey, he has asked for your number. Can I give him? I was like, don't even ask. Give him both. Give him both lines. And he did that. He asked for my number. So he got my number. That was actually even before I became a celebrity. That was when I'm still now working in Westlands. See, now he's in Hurlingham. He'd get a mat from Hurlingham to Westlands, the ones that come to Parklands Baptist. And then me, I'm just Hapa Motithi Road. That's where I used to work. So he'd call me and tell me, come, let me see you up Parklands Baptist. Gosh, this guy is calling me to church. I was feeling so nice. I was feeling so safe. And our relationship now started from there. He'd take me home from town. And those super metros back then, he didn't own a car then, but he'd just take me all the way to Kino and then he'd just go back. So the relationship now sprouted from there. It was and it went on and on until now. I'm now in the limelight, and we still continued. Red flags here and there, but you know what? I was colorblind, so we continued. Break up every now and then, get back together. And we used to say when you break up and get back together, you guys are meant to be. Aki, we are foolish. But anyway, fast forward to now, I've gotten this jobo, so I'm now here on freelance basis, but it's paying well, and the brand will grow now bigger on mainstream. So I remember Valentine's of 2021, I conceived. I am 30 what? 34, 33, 31, 31. I'm 31. All this time, I am thinking, because we are active, we are sexually active. Fine, we use protection, but sometimes, things happen. but we are also on very keen on our safe days. But I kept asking myself, all my friends have babies. At some point I was feeling like, I'm not fertile. I had those questions. So when I conceived in Feb, we had actually not planned for it. Now when I tested and it was positive, there was this huge confirmation of my femininity that came with that. I was scared because this is something we had not planned. I like planning, because a child is not just something you do. It's not just something you bring into this life. You need to plan financially, emotionally, physically. You need to be ready for that baby. So I was very scared, and this is something we've not planned. And remember, we had been in on and off relationships, and actually when we were conceiving this baby, we had a breakup sort of. So this, even that time, the time of conception was like a makeup sex thingy. So now there was no security of the future for the two of us. And now this time also, I am also surrounded by so many friends who are also sharing about what's happening in marriages. I am awake. And I also forgot to tell you that I remember at some point, because of the cyberbullying, I went for therapy. It increased to a point where I had physical pain in my head. I kept asking God, why would you give me a talent to make people happy? But this is the feedback they're giving me to therapy. And my first therapy session, I remember telling Joy, my name is Wangare, but you've probably seen me as Auntie Jamaima. I am a comedian. I make people happy, and I'm not happy.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on chumbacasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at chumbacasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's chumbacasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
And I broke down. That first session, I didn't do anything. I just cried. I cried. And now we started that journey of now going back. And I thank God I went for therapy, because reparenting myself has been the best thing I ever did. Because I remember at some point she asked me, do you remember being told you're beautiful as a child? I had never. I'd never had those words being said to me, that you're beautiful, you're enough, you're confident, because I was a very confident girl. Even in Sunday school, I used to do solo verses, but I never got those affirmations. I never got those, compliments, like you look good, your skin is beautiful. Yeah, so it was a long journey. And if you came to my house after that, I had so many affirmations on my wall, in my bathroom, in my kitchen, in my bedroom. You'd find them everywhere. I am beautiful, I am what, and they really helped me regain back my self-esteem. So now where was I? We are pregnant. So there's no security of our future together. But I had to tell him, because he's the father of the child. And I called him and I told him, there's something I want us to talk about. He was like, yeah, you're sure? Yeah, I'm very sure. And then now after that, it's a series of a lot of things happened, because now remember I told you when we met, we had been on and off. It was like a makeup of the breakup we had before. But now prior to that, there was another guy who had started showing interest. There was another guy who's seeing this melanin girl on radio, on social media, confidently doing her content. So he had also now started showing some interest. And now because of the so many on and offs with this other guy, I was like, you know what? It will never hurt to try. So yeah, he was also in the picture. And at some point, the father of the child went quiet on me. But this other guy was really very supportive of the whole journey. He went quiet for a while, and it was very bad. It was killing me. And but you know what? I had a child inside of me that needed happy hormones, that needed a happy mother to be able to grow. Yeah, so I had a very beautiful pregnancy. I had no physical changes, by the way, apart from the tummy and the face and the nose. I didn't have morning sickness. I didn't have that metallic taste that women talk about. I didn't even get swollen legs. Carried that baby with so much peace and so much comfort that people were asking me, you're lucky. As we don't even eat anything. I'd eat my food very well. I'd drink my soda for energy. I'd feel so nice. So I want to do a home birth. Remember, because of now therapy, I want to do things my own way. I keep saying I was reborn to do things now my way. So I've even gotten a midwife. We've started the Lamaze classes with her, but I'm also doing my clinics at Upper Hill. One of the tests that I'd been told to do was, there was quite a number, but there was one called gestational diabetes. But because of the way my baby was healthy, it wasn't emphasized as much. So I didn't take it with the seriousness that it probably deserved. And I remember the day I was to do the test, I went to the lab in Upper Hill. I live in Lower Kabete. So I went to Upper Hill, and then I remember the lab technician asking me, so Mercy, where are you? My name is Mercy, by the way, the other name, but I prefer Wangare. Wangare, yeah. So we are doing for you diabetes test, yeah. Have you eaten? Yes. Come on, I am pregnant. I'm from Lower Kabete. I had to have breakfast. And he told me we can't do the test now because we needed to do fasting levels and then 1 hour after meal and then 2 hours after meal. So I was like, I have then to come back another day. And there was a long queue. So the other week is when I was supposed to go do the test. I remember I signed off radio drive show with the main presenter, and I told him, we were just joking banter here and there, and I told him, just remember I will go for maternity because I was due in November and this was September. And I told him, I'll be gone for maternity for 3 months and you're going to miss me, because that was the longest he'd do the show alone. So he was like, I'll make it. I was like, sawa, let's wait for the due date where you will ngangana with the show. And that evening, I remember I went home, made dinner, and so I'm waiting for now the food to settle. So I go to bed, and I remember I was at 34 weeks. I passed some warm water and I went into cramping immediately. So I called my midwife, tell her, I just passed some warm water and I went into cramping immediately. So she was like, you need to call your doctor now, because I think you need to go to hospital. So I called my doki, tell her what happened. She tells me, don't panic, it might be premature rupture of the membranes, but which is the nearest hospital? Mpisha, go there right now. And let me talk to the doctor once you get there. So I called now Mans. He didn't live far away from where I stayed. And I told him, he had exams he was studying for that evening. The exam was the next day. So I told him, I'm really sorry I have to disturb you, but I've been told I need to go to hospital. It's the current boyfriend. The other guy went quiet kabisa. Because there was a time he sort of came around and we did the gender reveal test. We went together. He had started coming around, and then again he went silent. So he now the current boyfriend now takes me to hospital. We drive into hospital. Remember, I was doing my clinics at Upper Hill, not Mpisha. So we don't even know our way around. So I'm there now. The cramps have increased in intensity. So he asks around. So where do we go? So we were led to now maternity. I was given a wheelchair, and I was wheeled to maternity. And the first thing they do is they check the heartbeat. And it's very loud. Usually you can hear it from as far as the next room. And I noticed there was struggle. They could not, once they identify where the baby is, they're able to get the heartbeat. They could not find the heartbeat. So I was like, they're struggling to get the heartbeat. But now he told me, don't worry, maybe they'll just tell you to go for CS. He knew I dreaded CS to date. I am so afraid of a cesarean section. I just want to push because I have so much trust in my body. I want to push the vaginal way. And that's why I wanted to do the home birth. Because nowadays the hospitals can even induce or tell you have an emergency without one. Kwanza when they see the insurance card. So now he told me, he was trying to reassure me, if you're told to go to CS, just be open-minded. Me, I'm telling him, no. They're struggling to get the heartbeat. But all this time, I'm like, maybe the baby hajaka vizuri. So then I'm told we need to book you into an emergency 2D ultrasound. And I'm wheeled to the X-ray room. This is the baby's head, nini. For me, I did not notice that there was no movement.
Catch more African stories in the next episode of Legally Clueless. That is just part 1 of Auntie Jamaima's story. Part 2 goes out next week, so make sure you're here for that. First, I just want to send my love to everyone who has walked the motherhood journey or is walking it now. I feel like there's a way motherhood was presented to us as being so automatic and very easy on your body. I remember my grandma trying to convince me to have kids, and she was like, oh, you're thin, your hips will snap back. And I was just like, no. There's a lot more to think about, right? And unfortunately, the way motherhood and pregnancy was presented meant many women went in and were shocked by the many conditions and the risks. And I feel like the more honest we are about the pregnancy and motherhood journey, the more we not only prepare mothers, but we can also evaluate if we have the systems to support mothers. And this story reminded me of something I think about, especially because I'm in my mid-30s, I'm 36, with no children and I have no plans of having kids. If you're in this situation, you can relate. You often get comments, right? Trying to pressure you into having kids. And it's even the discourse, not only like at family gatherings, but like globally of, oh, women, please have kids. Populations are dwindling. But what I always find funny is that society keeps putting this pressure on women to have kids, but it doesn't have systems to support mothers. So not in terms of work, not in terms, if we're talking about maternity, not in terms of healthcare, not in terms of community. And so I always find it funny that many of us are choosing to be child-free for many reasons, including the lack of support for mothers in different public sectors. But the people who can change that are like, no, women, why aren't you having kids? And it's just strange. It's a strange disconnect. But I want to hear from you. You've listened to part 1. What did you connect with? Please let me know. I love hearing from you in the comments section on whatever platform you're listening to this on. Part 2 of Auntie Jamima's story will be out next week, Monday. And I want to thank you for being part of this family. I truly appreciate you. And I truly believe that you have everything it takes to heal. That's it for this episode of Legally Clueless. You can share this podcast with your friends. You can keep it for yourself. I'm not judging. Just make sure you're here next week for the next episode.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.